talented professor, composer, and he's Deon Nielsen Price.
They asked me to introduce this music a little. Somewhat, maybe less than 2 years ago, Shoshana, Jacobian pianist, set up a organization called Music for Unity, in which they want to use music, as it's such a global way of communicating, as a protest against the genocidal and terrible things that happen to humanity. And I don't know if she knew that, although I have been very supportive of her, but I was kind of doing that all these 70 years that I've been composing. And I have quite a few things along that line. So I was very happy to join her in the project they did last year, which was a composer competition. It was opened up to composers all through the United States. And they were to write a piece for either string quartet or piano quintet based on a folk tune from Artsakh. Artsakh is next to Artsakh, and on September 28th and 2023, the Armenians who had lived there for centuries were forced to leave when the Azerbaijan dictatorial country came in. And so this project they did last year in 2024 was in tribute to that terrible time. And the concert that came out, the composers did compose, and it was on September 28th, I think, the same day that had taken place the year before. The competition was, we had a wonderful concert. The composers were asked to choose one of 3 folk tunes from Artsakh, which Shoshana had on the website. Nearly all of the composers, and then we chose, how many? 6 finalists from them. And all of the finalists' music was performed in the concert. But those 6 finalists, except for one, all chose the same tune, which was the first one on the list. That one person chose the second tune. So, jumping ahead now to this January, as I said, I have been doing these sorts of things for many years also. And in Arroyo Grande, where I live on the Central Coast now, they put on a multimedia program called Behind Barbed Wire. And it was a tribute, a commemoration of the Japanese Americans' incarceration during World War II. There are many of those families who live in the Central Coast, or who did live, and some are still there, whose lives were affected. Well, I had written the music for that, and Shoshana and some of the others came for that program. So at the end of the program, this was on January 31st, she came up to me and she said, "We would like you to write a piece for our trio, something about in the spirit of the Artsakh. And I thought, okay, I will look at that 3rd tune and see if I can write something on that, which is what I did. And it's a song. It's a very, very quiet song. It's called Grinding Wheat. That's the name of the tune. And I thought, well, this tune really doesn't go anywhere, what can I do with this? I didn't want to make it arty and take away from the spirit of the song, so I left it pretty much as it was, and I got into it, and I thought, this is a man singing this song, you'll hear it in the cello, and he's pondering some great problem that he has in his life, and it gets more intense as it goes along. Anyway, in that song, we kind of start out in the atmosphere, and then we gradually focus in on this tune that somebody is singing in this one town in Artsakh in Eastern Europe. And then it kind of fades away again. So in the end I thought, well, it really needs another movement. So then I went to the second tune, and only one person did. And there was this fabulous, fabulous rhythm in it. And I could just see those people having such a wonderful time. The Friends, the name of that tune was something about friends. So I named it Grinding Wheat in Artsakh with Friends. So the last part, the second movement, is I think they're dancing in wooden shoes and having a great time with the great spirit of those people. This is not the deep, emotional, soulful music that we've been hearing about the genocide. This is more about life before that and the wonderful spirit of the people. Enough?